Thank you for joining me for another episode of Forgotten Gear Restorations. We're going to focus on a Fender Deluxe Reverb Reissue that was rehoused into this beautiful and supple Mojo Tone head shell. Look at it. Just look at it. But this one's got some issues. Here's a big hint. Big surprise, huh? As always, thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing, hyping, doing the whole thing. You guys have been so supportive, and I totally appreciate it. Now, I hope this finds you and yours well. Bye. Chris, this is your Fender Deluxe Reverb Reissue that you put into a beautiful head shell. I think you said you got it from Mojo Tone. I've just completed the cap job. So I've removed this cap over here and its corresponding resistor R65 because it just induces 2 more points of failure. Not required, superfluous. So you're back in business. This is your amp fully cranked up. All the noise is gone. Isn't that a lovely thing? Now, let's turn our attention to the point of failure. Yesterday, I told you that C32 was the culprit, and I have C32 chucked up on the old Z meter right here. And let's see what that has to say about its capacitance and also its behavior under load. So let me, speaking of chucking things up, let me get this camera and the mount. I'll be right back. All right, Chris and the rest of you goons and mutants out there, we are looking at the offending cap, the perpetrator, the culprit, the one who's responsible for all the chaos. This is C32. This is the guy that was causing you so much grief and heartache. Chris, let's get our other boy over here into focus because this is the dude. Now, this should be a 47 or 40 microfarad cap. Let me look at this guy again. 47 microfarad. So let's check the value of this cap. I was reading in the picofarad range. On one of my other meters, and it's not even, there we go. We're in the 60 picofarad range, or picofarad. No bueno, this should be in the microfarad range. Now let's check leakage out. Let's bring her up to, we'll go 100 volt increments from 100 volts. Let's see if we're gonna get any leakage. At 100 volts, it's charging up. It's obviously leaky, it's having a hell of a time charging. Let's bring it up to 200 volts. Wow, it's a bad cap here, bub. $400. $500 volts. This cap is trashed. It's trashed. So, one of the beautiful things about this meter, I always tell people, yeah, the Heath kits are sexier by far. It's got that nice little form factor that the IT12 has, and they look great together. If you got the whole family of Heath kit testers, they just look great together. But there's an extra step involved for your safety. With this thing, as soon as you release the leakage button, and this starts flashing again, it's safe to handle the cap. It's fully discharged. That's not the case with the Heath kit and a lot of the other testers out there. There's an extra step you have to take. You have to physically flip the switch to the discharge position before you can handle the cap. It's a good way to kill yourself if you don't have your wits about you. So it's worth finding a meter like this if you have to have one. I could honestly never turn this thing on. And actually, most of the equipment here, you just need a nice multimeter. Maybe you need a scope. And even then, it's going to get dusty. But I need this for some of the more expensive repairs I do when I have to justify a cap job. So when you need that data point, it's going to come in handy. All right, so at 120 wall volts, we're dropping about, I don't know, I'm dropping like 4 volts AC due to current draw. You're sitting over here at 14 milliamps, which is woefully underbiased. So I'll go ahead and bring her up to the proper range and report back. All right. 21 milliamps at that plate voltage brings us to around the 60% mark, which is a great spot for these amps to be. And we'll get her reassembled and get a nice little sound sample for you. And then I'll move on to your JMP1 preamp. Bye. All right. And before I do any of that, I almost forgot. And thankfully I remembered to tighten this hardware. Everything was just hand tightened. This speaker jack here, the output jack here, was loose enough to turn a bit. So since there's a little more additional stress here under this connection, I'm gonna reflow this solder joint to relieve the tension. But all of these were able to be turned more than a full turn. So really glad we caught this. Bye.